wondered if you could just talk to our viewers a little bit about what, if they're new, because we had one mom who wrote in and said her child was just diagnosed on Friday. Tell them a little bit about ARI and what the mission is.
Well, with Autism Research Institute, we were actually established in 1967 by Dr. Bernard Remland, who's one of the true pioneers in the field. He actually was the one who said it was not the mother's fault back in the 60s, because at that time every professional, not one, they all said it's the mothers, and well, actually both parents, especially the mother who caused the autism. And then he wound up having a son with autism and read the literature. He had just finished his PhD in experimental psychology and realized that everyone was blaming him and his wife. And then he started writing a paper, which eventually grew into a book. And what's interesting, this year is the 50th anniversary of the book. Oh, wow. So the Institute we're still figuring out different ways to celebrate Amazing. The book, but it's been 50 years and just quite incredible. So when he founded the Autism Research Institute, basically the main mission was to conduct research as well as sponsor research, which we continue today. But over time, the mission also included distribution of information to parents as well as professionals. So basically, we conduct and sponsor research as well as distribute information.
And it's incredible information. I know I've been able to go to a few ARI conferences and hear some of the people speak, and it's amazing what you can learn at one of your conferences and the ability to connect with other people. A lot of times, I know you have spoken at their conferences before. I just want to say, ARI has contributed in so many other ways to this field overall. I mean, I would say the entire medical movement was what ARI started, and before that, I remember this very clearly, and you remember, of course, at 1995, I believe, right? The first STAN conference. Meeting. Yeah. So, and this was unheard of back then. And Dr. Rimland was bringing together physicians from all over the world to bring their thoughts and opinions and research together and discuss what is the real underlying medical cause or correlation to autism. That was the first, and that's now becoming mainstream. Right.
Well, for years before that, he was pressuring a lot of other autism organizations and researchers to look into medical problems, and as well as biomedical, they're almost the same as far as autism, and no one listened. And so we decided to put together a think tank, which we brought in some of the top researchers as well as experienced clinicians, and they all got in the room, and they all agreed that the immune system was a big issue. And there had been talk and some research in the previous 10 years on that issue. But as far as gastrointestinal, there's nothing in the literature. And one clinician after another said, I thought I was the only one who's seeing it. I'm also seeing it. And then they realized that GI problems were a major problem. It was right then everyone's eyes open and said, my God, it really is a big issue. And then toward the end of the 3-day meeting, everyone in the room agreed, let's network, let's work together, let's try to have a movement to make medical problems, make the community aware of these medical problems, and then and after that, figure out how best to treat them.
Right, so and then from that, of course, came the whole movement of training doctors and just, the entire dissemination. If you look at it now, of course, there's offshoots, which is sort of the MAPS group, but if it wasn't for ARI, none of this sort of stuff would have come together. Those very same physicians, those same physicians have now trained thousands of other doctors in the country. So that's an amazing achievement.
It's important work.